Now, in this lecture, I want to show you how to use Qubes to carry out two important tasks that you're used to use on other operating systems. And as I do this, again, the idea of the separation and the different domains and virtual machines will become even clearer. So right now, I have an instance of a file manager in my personal domain. And on the left here, I have an instance of the file manager in my work domain, in my work virtual machine. Again, as you can see, it's in blue and it says work at the start. So, as I showed you in the previous lecture when we downloaded something in my personal virtual machine here, the image, it doesn't exist in my downloads directory in here because, like we said, these are two separate virtual machines using two separate file systems. Therefore, they're completely separate and they do not share anything. Now, what I want to show you is copy pasting. So, let's say I wanted to copy this file. I can right-click copy, or you can do Control-C just like any other operating system. And then because this is a picture, we can go to my pictures in here and just do Control-V or right-click paste, and we will have the picture. So this is perfectly fine. It's perfectly normal. But if I do this again, so let's do right-click copy, and let's say I want to put it in my downloads, in my work file system, in my work domain. If I do right-click in here, you'll see that the paste is grayed out. I cannot paste. And if I do Control-V, you'll see that nothing will happen. And the reason for this is, again, it goes back to the whole idea of the separation of the different domains, which are completely separate virtual machines, so you can think of them as if they are two different computers. Therefore, what we did right now, it's as if you go to a computer, you right-click on a copy image, and then you go to a completely different computer to another laptop, and then you're trying to paste that image in that laptop. Obviously, that's not going to work because these are two separate computers. They use two different storage devices. Therefore, the second computer is not even aware that you actually copied something. Now, because these two computers or these two domains are running within Qubes, within one hypervisor, we can actually copy and paste between them. It's just slightly different. So, if you want to copy something within the same virtual machine or within the same domain, it's fine. You can right-click and copy. But if you wanted to copy between two different domains or virtual machines, you'll have to right-click this, and instead of clicking on copy, we're going to click to copy to other VM. Clicking on this will show us a window that will ask us which VM or which domain we want to copy this file to. Now we want to copy this to our work VM, to our work domain. So I'm going to type work, and I'm going to click on OK. Now you'll see that this will not appear in here. But if we go to the home directory, you'll see we have a new directory in here called Qubes Incoming, and this is where you will see all the files that you copy from other domains or other virtual machines. So if we double-click this, you'll see we have a directory called Personal. If you copied stuff from another domain, for example, if you copied it from the Untrusted, you'll have a directory called Untrusted. So inside the Personal directory, you'll see we have the image that we wanted. If we double-click it, you'll see that the image is fine. This is the actual image. It did not get corrupted. And you can now right-click it and copy it and paste it to anywhere you want within this operating system, within the work domain. So this is how to copy files within a domain or between two different domains. Now, what about copying text? So let's just type something simple. I'm just going to click on the search in here just so that I have a text box that I can type in. And I'm just going to type, this is some text to copy. Now, if you want to copy this text within the same operating system, again, it's exactly the same as any other operating system. You select all the text that you want to copy. You can do right-click copy or Control-C from your keyboard. And then if we remove this and then open the search bar again and do Control-V, this will paste it in here for me. So identical behavior to any other operating system that you're used to. Again, the tricky part is trying to copy this text from one domain, from one virtual machine to another domain. because this domain right here is a completely separate computer. It doesn't even know that you copied this text. So, to get around this, you'll have to first select the whole text. You'll have to do Control-C or right-click copy to copy it. And then, we're going to do Control-Shift-C. Doing this will copy the text into the global clipboard. So right now, the text that I just copied is available for all operating systems, for all domains to capture. And if you go here to our clipboard, you can see that we have 25 bytes of data are copied from the personal domain. Now, if we want to paste this in here, in my work domain, before we can do Control-V, which is the shortcut for pasting, you have to first of all get the global clipboard, get the text that we copied to the global clipboard. To do that, you have to do Control-Shift-V first. And as you can see, now it's telling us that the global clipboard has been wiped, and it's in my work domain clipboard now. So now I can paste it exactly the same way that I paste anything else. I can just do Control-V, and as you can see, we have the text pasted in here. So this should show you how separated these virtual machines are, and this is what made Qubes so cool, because they are so separated, but they can also communicate with each other if the user wants to. But if a hacker gains access to one of these machines, he doesn't have access to the global domain, and therefore they can't move from one domain to the other. So if one machine gets hacked, it's very difficult for a hacker to go and compromise the other machines. Now, another task that you will probably be performing a lot is connecting a USB device to your computer, whether it's a mouse, a camera, or a storage device. When you connect a USB device to Qubes, it doesn't get connected to any domain or to any virtual machine, which is great because it is very hard to trust USB devices. I actually cover this in my conference in Orlando. You can weaponize pretty much any USB device, even a USB lamp or a mouse, to execute commands on the computer that it gets connected to, and this way it'll allow a hacker to gain full control over that computer. I will include a link to that talk if you're interested. But the cool thing here in Qubes, when you connect a USB device, it will not allow that device to register itself as a keyboard first, and it won't connect it to a virtual machine. It'll detect the device, but it'll wait for you, for the user, to select which domain or which virtual machine you want to connect this to. And then, even if that code gets executed, it'll only hack into the machine that you connected to, and it'll be very difficult to move from that machine and compromise the other machines. You can even connect it to a disposable virtual machine to do untrusted tasks in. We'll talk about untrusted virtual machines in the next lecture, so stay tuned for that. Now, first of all, before I connect my USB device, if you go in here to the top right, you will see all of the devices connected to the Qubes operating system right now, and a lot of these right now are built-in devices in my computer. I haven't really connected much via USB. So, we're going to remember what's in here now. I'm going to close this window, and I'm going to connect my storage device. And as you can see, we get a notification that the device is ready to be used. But if we look in any of these machines, you'll see that we don't have access to this device. To connect this device to a virtual machine or to a domain, we're going to go to the devices in here again, and you'll see we have the device in here. This is the name of the device that came up in the notifications. It's also the extra device that didn't exist before when we opened the list. And if we hover over it, you'll see that it's going to list all of the running domains, all of the running virtual machines that we can connect the device to. So right now we only have the personal and the work running, the ones that we can actually use. And let's say I want to connect this to my work virtual machine or to my work domain. All you have to do is literally just click on this, and you'll get a notification telling you that it's going to connect it to the work domain. And give it just a little bit of time, and then we're going to go to our other locations. And as you can see, we have it right here, my 8 GB volume. We can double-click it to access it. and then interact with its files exactly the same way that you would in most other operating systems. Again, double-click to open, right-click to get the options, copy and paste like I showed you, and so on. So that's it for this lecture. I just wanted to show you some of the tasks that you're going to be using a lot. And through that, I also wanted to help you understand how these domains are completely separated from each other and how this separation can make the whole operating system more secure or help us improve our security.